at 6 p.m. Please stand for the opening prayer. I don't believe we have Pastor Sam Abolo from the Living World Church of Maryland, so if the General Manager could please read the prayer.
Let us give thanks to God for serving this office of honour and trust. Give this council the grace, diligence and honesty to discharge the duties entrusted in them. We will serve the Cumberland community for the common good. Amen.
Thank you, Mr McNulty. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Darug people, and pay my respects to their elders, both past and present. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Whilst all care will be taken to maintain the privacy of the public gallery, members of the public may be recorded. Council requests that all members of the public are respectful and use appropriate language.
Thank you, Mr General Manager. Are there any declarations of interest? No declarations of interest. Council, we have the election of the Deputy Mayor and a committee representative. I'm probably going to work through these first item and the second item and then hand over to the General Manager as the returning officer. Council, for item 1, determine if the Deputy Mayor will be elected for a 1-year period commencing on the 27th of September 2018. Want a mover for that? Move Councillor Sarkar, seconded Councillor Garrard. Any discussion? No discussion, I'll put it. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried. Council to determine the method of voting for the election of the Deputy Mayor. Move Councillor Garrard, seconded Councillor Christo for an open vote. Is there any discussion? No discussion, I'll put it. All those in favour? Against? Declare that carried. Mr General Manager.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. As returning officer, I now invite nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor for the September 2018 to September 2019 term. I remind you that nominations must be in writing and that in accordance with the Local Government Act regulations, 2 or more councillors must nominate a councillor for the position of Deputy Mayor. I've received 2 nominations, one from Councillor Zareka and one from Councillor Elmore. Are there any further nominations? Okay, I'm required by the regulations to put the names of the 2 nominated councillors into the box to be drawn out so that the order in which the vote is taken is done. So we have Councillor Glenn Elmore. Leave me alone. Councillor Tom Zareka.
Was a call for them? Was a call for them? General. I think Ms Endicott could...
That's a conflict of interest that way. Vote first, don't we?
No,
Yeah, this is...
this is the order which the candidates will be put to you.
The first councillor on the ballot sheet will be Councillor Zareka. And the second councillor on the tally sheet will be Councillor Elmore. So, can all councillors voting for Councillor Zareka please raise your hands? Charlie's rolling them down. Good. Unless we change our minds. Can those voting for Councillor Elmore please raise their hands? I declare that Councillor Elmore is elected as Deputy Mayor for the next 12 months. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr McNulty. I'll call for nominations for councillor for the vacant position of the alternate delegate for the Parramatta River Catchment Group. Is there any nomination? Councillor Sarkis, is there a second for that? A nomination for a councillor for the vacant position of the alternate delegate for the Parramatta River Catchment Group.
I'll second that.
Seconded, Councillor Addy. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favour? Against? Well, I called it.
It's all right, Councillor Sarkis wants.
Okay, I've called it. So all those in favour? Against? Declare that carried. Council, I'll declare the meeting closed at...
Mayor, I'd like to congratulate
Thank you, Councillor Garrow.
Councillor Elmore on his rise to the position of Mayor of Deputy Mayor of Cumberland. I've worked with Councillor Elmore now for some years in another place, and I do know that he's a very studious person, and certainly wherever he puts his mind to, he is very, very successful at. I'm certain, Mr Mayor, that he'll be there when he's needed during the course of the next 12 months. I'm pleased that he does come from the South Granville ward, and I make this point that I would expect the South Granville ward now to get a bit of extra treatment by virtue of the fact that we have a member of the executive now representing that area. I'm not joking, and obviously Councillor Elmore is not smiling either at this point in time. So I'm dead serious. Expect those sweep cleaners to be up and down the streets a bit more frequently, and I'm certain you'll be very vigilant around those issues as well. Look, I'd like to also to thank Councillor Sarkis for his work as being the first Deputy Mayor of Cumberland. Look, I've got to know Eddie fairly well over the years, and over the last 12 months I've been very, very impressed by the way in which he's gone about this role. A new position, a bigger local government area, you know, weighed down with the problems and the past history of Holroyd. He's been able to come through all that, forget about the past, and move forward with new horizons for Cumberland. And Eddie's always been able to do that. I like people who ask questions and seek advice, and he has done that. I know he's been there on your right-hand side many times, Mr Mayor, in terms of assisting, and there's been some difficult moments in the first 12 months of his council, particularly needing to find a general manager. They're few and far between, and as a result, the teamwork that was promoted through yourself and the deputy, enabled the existing process to take place and to come up with a good result. So I know he's worked hard in the position. He's set out to try and learn much more about local government, if that's possible, because he does know the area very well, and that's been a great assistance, I know, to myself in the last 12 months as well, being new to some areas of Cumberland. So I would like to formally thank Councillor Sarkis for his contribution to the role.
Thank you, Councillor Garrard. Councillor Christie.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd just like to thank Councillor Sarkis for his service, but also thank my colleague, Councillor Elmore. I have no doubt Councillor Elmore is going to do a fantastic job in the role. I've known him personally now for well over a decade. I've seen firsthand how he operates. I actually ran as a number 3 on Councillor Elmore's ticket last time, and I've got a good look at how he works within his constituency. There's no flashy items with Councillor Elmore. It's just down to business, grassroots. Anyone wants to see him, he'll be out there Saturday morning, he'll be out there late in the evenings, and this is a win-win for Cumberland and long overdue, and I just wanted to congratulate Councillor Elmore. Thank you.
Councillor Sarkis.
Yes, Mr Mayor, I did actually have my light on, and when you looked this way earlier, I thought you were, so I turned it off and Councillor Garrard stood up. Mr Mayor, through you, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Councillor Elmore on his appointment, on his election, and wish him all the best for his year. But it would be remiss of me also not to thank this council and the community of Cumberland for allowing me to fulfil the position of Deputy Mayor, the first Deputy Mayor of Cumberland. It was an honour for me to be able to do that. I will continue to serve and represent my constituency and this council as a whole to the best of my ability. I know that each and every one of us have our views on many items and many issues. That's what makes us a council, that's what makes us unique. At the end of the day, democracy prevails, whether we like it or not, whether we agree with a particular item, issue, matter or not. That's irrelevant. The relevant or the relevance of a council is the decisions that we make as a whole, and we abide by those decisions whether, again, we like them or not. My gratitude goes out to everybody that's allowed me to be in this position and fulfil my term as Deputy Mayor. And I thank you, Mr Mayor, and the councillors, the council staff, and again the constituency for allowing me to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sarkis. Councillor Zareka.
Yeah, I won't be too long. Through you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to congratulate my fellow ward councillor, Councillor Glenn Elmore. All the very best with the role. A worthy opponent, if I say that, if I can say that. I look forward to working with my friends on the other side of the table, especially to advance not just the needs, but also advance us as a council for the community. And I look forward to working with you, Councillor Elmore, on that in that space. As to my friend Councillor Eddie Sarkis, well done on the last year. I've certainly learned a lot from you, watching you buzz around the mayor and conduct namely the citizenship ceremonies, taking his gigs when he wasn't available. So someone to look up to, and thank you for your work and your assistance for the last year. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Councillor Zareka. Well, first of all, Councillor Elmore.
I'd like to say a few words. Thank you, Mr Mayor. I thank the outgoing Deputy Mayor, Eddie Sarkis, for the work he's done in the past 12 months. To also recognise Councillor Tom Zareka for his nomination. And I'd like to especially thank everybody for voting for me tonight. Something that I couldn't achieve in that other place that Councillor Garrard referred to. And at the moment, I'm glad I'm here and not over there with the goings on. But we have a good council. We have a committed council. We also have a committed and great council staff. As a new council, we've got a lot of work to do. We're getting on with the job, and I'm looking forward to the next 12 months to get those little jobs that we haven't finished yet. You know, there's a lot of work to do around infrastructure and the cleanliness of the place. So I'm looking for the next 12 months, and I thank you for voting for me tonight.
Thank you, Councillor Elmore. First of all, I'd like to thank Councillor Sarkis for his contribution as Deputy Mayor in the first year, and he has contributed greatly, and I'd like to thank him for that. I'd like to pass on my condolences to Councillor Zareka, but that's democracy. Commiserations, thank you. And I look forward to working with Councillor Elmore for the next year. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh,
Is it in order to move a motion to ask for a section of the, say, $10,000 of the mayor's allowance to go to the deputy?
I think I'll have that discussion with Councillor Elmore.
We could move that. Is it possible we could move that now?
Well, I think I'd prefer to have that discussion with Councillor Elmore.
I look forward to it.
It would have to be reported to council within that 28 days.
Yes, thank you. I'll declare the meeting closed at 6:16. Thank you.